The Kelly Clarkson Show, known for its warm and inviting atmosphere, took an unexpected turn during a recent episode that left audiences stunned and social media buzzing with reactions. The episode began like any other, with Kelly Clarkson's signature charm setting the stage for what promised to be a light-hearted celebrity chat. Kevin Bacon, the beloved actor known for iconic roles in films like Footloose and Tremors, was a featured guest alongside another personality referred to only as Harry, a figure known for his flamboyant and theatrical demeanor. The anticipation for this episode was high, as fans expected the usual mix of heartfelt stories, laughter, and perhaps a musical moment or two. However, what unfolded was far from the typical talk show fare. As Kelly introduced her guests, the energy in the studio was palpable, with the audience eager to see how Bacon and Harry would interact. Early on, it became clear that Harry's larger-than-life personality was going to dominate the conversation. He entered the stage with a dramatic flourish, dressed in an extravagant outfit that screamed for attention, and immediately made a bold request. He insisted that everyone, including Kevin Bacon, address him as Highness. This demand, delivered with a mix of jest and seriousness, set the tone for what would soon become a heated clash. Kevin Bacon, known for his down-to-earth persona, appeared visibly taken aback by the request. His initial reaction was a polite chuckle, perhaps assuming it was a playful bit, but Harry doubled down, emphasizing that he was serious about the title. The audience laughed nervously, sensing an awkward tension brewing. Kelly Clarkson, ever the skilled host, tried to diffuse the situation with her quick wit, joking about how she'd love to be called Your Majesty for a day. But the light-hearted attempt at humor did little to ease the growing discomfort. Bacon's expression shifted from amusement to irritation as Harry continued to press the issue, insisting that respect for his title was non-negotiable. The exchange marked the beginning of confrontation that would spiral into one of the most memorable moments in the show's history. As the segment progressed, it became evident that Bacon was not willing to play along with Harry's theatrics. He leaned forward in his chair, his tone firm but measured, and directly addressed Harry's demand. "I'm not calling you Highness," Bacon said, his voice carrying a mix of disbelief and defiance. "You're here for the wrong reasons if you think this is about feeding your ego." The audience gasped, and the studio fell into a hush as Harry's face flushed with indignation. Harry fired back, accusing Bacon of being dismissive and disrespectful, claiming that his request was a reflection of his personal brand and identity. The argument escalated quickly, with both men raising their voices, each refusing to back down. Kelly Clarkson, caught in the middle, attempted to steer the conversation toward safer territory, suggesting they discuss their latest projects instead. But the damage was done. The clash had taken on a life of its own, and the audience was now fully invested in the drama unfolding before them. Social media platforms like Twitter and Instagram erupted with reactions, with hashtags like #TeamKevin and #TeamHarry trending almost immediately. Viewers were divided, with some praising Bacon for standing his ground and others criticizing him for not indulging Harry's playful request. The incident raised questions about celebrity culture, ego, and the dynamics of public interactions, making it a hot topic across entertainment news outlets. As the confrontation continued, the tension in the studio became almost tangible, with the audience hanging on every word. Kevin Bacon, typically known for his calm and professional demeanor, seemed to reach a breaking point. He leaned back in his chair, crossing his arms, and delivered a pointed remark that cut through the noise. "This isn't about respect, it's about you craving attention." The accusation hit Harry hard, and his response was immediate and fiery. He stood up, gesturing dramatically, and accused Bacon of being jealous of his ability to command the room. "You're just mad because I'm not afraid to be myself," Harry exclaimed, his voice echoing through the studio. The audience erupted in a mix of cheers and boos, unsure whether to support Harry's boldness or Bacon's no-nonsense attitude. Kelly Clarkson, visibly flustered, tried to interject with a joke about needing a referee, but her efforts were drowned out by the escalating war of words. The clash took a personal turn as Harry began to question Bacon's relevance in Hollywood, suggesting that his best days were behind him. This was a low blow, and Bacon's jaw tightened as he responded with a measured but sharp retort, "I've been in this business long enough to know when someone's trying to steal the spotlight for no reason." The exchange was no longer just about a title, it had become a battle of egos, with both men digging in their heels. The production team, sensing the segment was veering into dangerous territory, signaled for a commercial break, but not before the cameras captured a tense moment where Bacon and Harry stared each other down. Kelly, clearly uncomfortable, forced a smile and promised the audience they'd be right back after the break. Behind the scenes, producers scrambled to figure out how to handle the situation, as the clash had already begun to generate buzz online. Fans watching at home took to social media to share clips of the heated exchange, with some speculating that Harry's behavior was a calculated move to gain publicity for an upcoming project. Others wondered if Bacon's reaction was justified or if he had overreacted to what could have been a harmless bit of showmanship. The debate raged on, with entertainment blogs and tabloids picking up the story and framing it as a classic example of Hollywood egos clashing in front of a live audience. The Kelly Clarkson Show, which prides itself on being a feel-good space, was suddenly at the center of a media storm, with headlines sensationalizing the incident and questioning whether the show could recover from the negative publicity. When the show returned from the commercial break, the atmosphere in the studio was noticeably different. Kelly Clarkson, ever the professional, tried to reset the tone by shifting the conversation to a lighter topic, asking Kevin Bacon about his recent work and his passion for music with his band, the Bacon Brothers. Bacon, still visibly irritated, gave short, clipped answers, clearly still affected by the earlier confrontation. Harry, on the other hand, leaned into his theatrical persona, making exaggerated gestures and comments that seemed designed to keep the spotlight on him. The audience was torn, with some laughing at Harry's antics and others visibly uncomfortable with the lingering tension. Kelly's attempts to steer the conversation were only partially successful, as Harry kept circling back to the earlier dispute, making sly remarks about certain people who couldn't handle his energy. Bacon, for his part, refused to engage further, choosing instead to focus on his conversation with Kelly. This dynamic only fueled the drama, as viewers at home interpreted Bacon's silence as either restraint or disdain. The segment ended abruptly, with Kelly announcing that they were out of time and thanking both guests for joining her. As the cameras pan out, Bacon was seen gathering his things and leaving the stage quickly, while Harry lingered, waving to the audience and blowing kisses. The contrast between the two couldn't have been starker, and it left viewers wondering what had happened off-camera during the break. Speculation about Bacon being kicked off the show began to circulate, though no official statement from the show's producers confirmed this. Instead, the narrative seemed to stem from the optics of Bacon's swift exit and the heated nature of the exchange. Entertainment outlets ran with the story, with some claiming that Bacon had stormed off in a huff, while others suggested that the producers had asked him to leave to avoid further conflict. The truth, as is often the case, was likely somewhere in the middle, but the lack of clarity only added fuel to the fire. Social media continued to buzz, with fans dissecting every moment of the episode and debating who was in the right. Some praised Bacon for refusing to indulge what they saw as Harry's attention-seeking behavior, while others felt that Bacon had been unnecessarily harsh, especially given the light-hearted context of the show. The incident sparked broader conversations about how celebrities navigate public interactions and whether there's room for theatrical personas in spaces meant to be collaborative and uplifting. In the days following the episode, the clash between Kevin Bacon and Harry became a full-blown media spectacle. Tabloids and online entertainment sites published detailed recaps of the incident, complete with frame-by-frame analyses of the confrontation. Some outlets painted Bacon as the villain, accusing him of being overly serious and dismissive of Harry's playful request. Others portrayed Harry as a fame-hungry opportunist who had deliberately provoked Bacon to create a viral moment. The truth, as always, was more nuanced, but nuance rarely makes for clickable headlines. The Kelly Clarkson Show issued a brief statement acknowledging the spirited discussion between the guests but emphasized that the show remained committed to providing a positive and entertaining experience for its audience. Kelly herself took to social media to address the incident indirectly, posting a message about the importance of kindness and understanding in all interactions. Fans of the show were quick to defend her, noting that she had been placed in an impossible position, trying to mediate a conflict that had spiraled out of control. Meanwhile, Kevin Bacon remained silent on the matter, which some interpreted as a classy move, while others saw it as an admission of guilt. Harry, predictably, leaned into the controversy, posting cryptic messages on social media about haters and the importance of being true to oneself. His followers ate it up, flooding his posts with supportive comments and emojis, while Bacon's fans rallied around him, praising his authenticity and refusal to play along with what they saw as a publicity stunt. The incident also sparked discussions about the role of talk shows in the modern media landscape. Once a staple of daytime television, shows like The Kelly Clarkson Show rely on a delicate balance of humor, heart, and celebrity appeal to keep viewers engaged. When that balance is disrupted, as it was in this case, the fallout can be significant. Critics questioned whether the show's producers should have stepped in sooner to prevent the clash from escalating or whether they had deliberately allowed it to unfold for the sake of ratings. The lack of transparency from the show's team only fueled speculation, with some insiders claiming that the producers had been caught off guard by the intensity of the confrontation. As the story continued to dominate headlines, it became clear that the incident had struck a chord with audiences, tapping into broader themes of authenticity, ego, and the pressures of performing in the public eye. The fallout from the clash extended beyond the immediate media frenzy, prompting deeper reflection on the nature of celebrity interactions. For Kevin Bacon, the incident was a rare misstep in an otherwise stellar career. Known for his versatility and professionalism, Bacon has long been regarded as one of Hollywood's most grounded stars. His refusal to indulge Harry's request was seen by many as a reflection of his no-nonsense approach to fame, but it also raised questions about how much flexibility is expected of celebrities in such settings. Was Bacon's reaction a justified stand against what he saw as inauthenticity, or did he misread the situation and come across as overly rigid? Fans and critics alike debated this point, with some arguing that Bacon's long tenure in the industry gave him the authority to call out what he perceived as attention-seeking behavior. Others felt that he should have played along, recognizing that talk shows thrive on light-hearted banter and playful antics. Harry, meanwhile, emerged from the incident as a polarizing figure. His theatrical persona and bold demand for a title had clearly been designed to make a splash, but whether that splash was positive or negative depended on who you asked. For his supporters, Harry's behavior was a refreshing departure from the cookie-cutter celebrity interviews that dominate daytime TV. For his detractors, it was a crass attempt to steal the spotlight at the expense of others. The incident also shone a light on Kelly Clarkson's role as a host. Known for her ability to connect with guests and audiences alike, Clarkson found herself in an unenviable position, trying to navigate a conflict that was both unexpected and deeply personal for the parties involved. Her attempts to defuse the situation were admirable, but the intensity of the clash made it nearly impossible to regain control. In the aftermath, some questioned whether Clarkson could have done more to steer the conversation away from the conflict, while others praised her for handling it with grace under pressure. The incident underscored the challenges of hosting a live talk show, where anything can happen, and the host must be prepared to pivot at a moment's notice. As the weeks passed, the narrative around the clash began to shift. What had initially been framed as a dramatic showdown between two celebrities started to be seen as a case study in the complexities of public personas. Kevin Bacon, perhaps sensing the need to address the situation, finally broke his silence in an interview with a major entertainment outlet. Without directly referencing the incident, he spoke about the importance of authenticity in his work and personal life, hinting that he had no patience for what he saw as performative behavior. His comments were interpreted by many as a subtle jab at Harry, though Bacon was careful not to mention him by name. Harry, meanwhile, continued to lean into the controversy, using it as fodder for his social media presence and even teasing a new project that he claimed would shake things up in Hollywood. The contrasting approaches of the two men highlighted their fundamentally different views on fame and public perception. For Bacon, the incident was a distraction from his work, something to be moved past as quickly as possible. For Harry, It was an opportunity to stay relevant and keep his name in the headlines. The Kelly Clarkson Show, meanwhile, faced its own set of challenges in the wake of the incident. Ratings for the episode were among the highest in the show's history, proving that controversy can be a powerful draw for viewers. However, the negative publicity also raised questions about the show's brand as a feel-good space. Producers reportedly held meetings to discuss how to prevent similar incidents in the future, with some suggesting stricter guidelines for guest interactions. Kelly Clarkson herself remained a beloved figure, with fans rallying around her and praising her for handling a difficult situation with professionalism. The incident also sparked a broader conversation about the expectations placed on celebrities in public settings. Are they obligated to play along with every request, no matter how outlandish? Or do they have the right to push back when they feel their boundaries are being crossed? The debate was far from settled, but it highlighted the delicate balance that public figures must strike between authenticity and performance. The clash between Kevin Bacon and Harry also had a lasting impact on how talk shows are perceived in the broader media landscape. The Kelly Clarkson Show, which had built its reputation on feel-good moments and genuine connections, was suddenly thrust into the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. Entertainment analysts pointed to the incident as an example of how quickly a carefully curated image could be disrupted by an unexpected moment. For some, the clash was a reminder of the raw, unscripted nature of live television, where anything can happen, and the outcome is never guaranteed. For others, it was a cautionary tale about the risks of inviting larger-than-life personalities onto a platform that thrives on relatability. The incident also prompted comparisons to other infamous talk show moments, from Oprah's tense interview with Tom Cruise to Ellen DeGeneres' controversial interactions with guests. What set this incident apart, however, was the way it played out in real time on social media. Within minutes of the episode airing, clips of the clash were circulating online, accompanied by a flood of memes, reaction videos, and hot takes. The speed and scale of the online response underscored the power of social media to amplify and shape narratives in the modern era. For the Kelly Clarkson Show, the challenge was to move past the incident without letting it define the show's legacy. Producers leaned into Kelly's strengths as a host, scheduling a series of high-profile guests and feel-good segments to restore the show's positive image. Meanwhile, Kevin Bacon and Harry continued to navigate the fallout in their own ways. Bacon returned to his work, focusing on upcoming film projects and his music career, while Harry used the incident to fuel his brand as a provocateur. The contrast between the two men's approaches was stark, but it also highlighted the diversity of personalities that make up the entertainment industry. For fans, the incident was a fascinating glimpse into the behind-the-scenes dynamics of celebrity culture, where egos, ambitions, and public perception collide in unpredictable ways. Ultimately, the clash between Kevin Bacon and Harry on The Kelly Clarkson Show will be remembered as a pivotal moment in the show's history, one that tested its resilience and highlighted the complexities of live television. For Kevin Bacon, the incident was a rare moment of vulnerability, a reminder that even the most seasoned stars can be drawn into unexpected conflicts. For Harry, it was a chance to cement his status as a polarizing figure, someone who thrives on pushing boundaries and challenging expectations. For Kelly Clarkson, it was a test of her skills as a host, one that she navigated with grace despite the chaos around her. The incident also served as a broader commentary on the state of celebrity culture, where authenticity and performance are constantly at odds. Fans of the show, and of Bacon and Harry, continued to debate the incident long after it aired, with some seeing it as a refreshing dose of realness in an otherwise polished world, and others viewing it as a regrettable lapse in decorum. The Kelly Clarkson Show emerged from the controversy stronger than ever, with Kelly's warmth and relatability shining through as the show's greatest assets. As for Bacon and Harry, their paths are unlikely to cross again anytime soon, but the memory of their clash will linger in the minds of viewers and in the annals of talk show history. The incident underscored the unpredictable nature of live television, where a single moment can spark a firestorm of reactions and reshape the narrative around a show and its guests. Whether it was a genuine clash of personalities or a carefully orchestrated moment of drama, The confrontation between Kevin Bacon and Harry captured the attention of millions and left an indelible mark on the Kelly Clarkson Show.